Okay. DGP 75. Steven, good morning.
DGP 77.
Oh, you're right. It's so early, man.
Coming to you on a Monday morning early. Had a good weekend, actually. Had a relaxing weekend. Had a turn of weather here. Got to spend my Sunday outside, which was nice. But interesting feelings around the club after a 1-1 draw with Fulham. How we doing, KP?
Yeah, I'm doing all right, dude. Obviously, it's very early in the morning. We are recording before work. Gotta get it published and head on to the office. So could be a relatively quick pod, although there is a lot to talk about. I totally hear you. I think going into the game, we had expectations that it was going to be a tight game on this pod. I had a 1-0. You had a 2-1. That's predicting a very tight game. I feel like those score lines. So we got that early on. The first 10, 20 minutes, Fulham were sitting so deep, I thought, and we were controlling everything well. Almost pulled out the 2-1, dude. I was really excited for you, but hey, it's still 6 games unbeaten. So for those of you keeping count at home, it's not all too bad. But it is starting to feel like maybe the league is kind of drifting away, mostly because Liverpool didn't play. So that just was such a cherry on top, I think, for our result.
Seems like the chips are really going into the cups. I mean, just from looking online, it really seems like the cups is what we're going for now. Is the league gone? I would say not yet. I still have a sense of faith for some reason. I just think things are going to turn around for us. As well as I just don't know if they can keep that. Like the rate that they're getting points at right now, I don't know if they can stay that high. So we'll see. But the lineup comes out for this one, and immediately I was not over the moon with the lineup. And I would like to get your take on it. Partey right back, Timber left back, J20 at the 6. No problem with Jorginho there. I thought that was a good move. Trossard at the left wing. He inserted him ahead of Martinelli. I think we're good with that move. But the back line, thought that was interesting. No Zinchenko in the lineup. That means no Calafiori, no Big Gabby. Having to run out left back Timber, right back Partey. After the last 3 weeks, Timber's been killing it at right back. That was tough to see.
Yeah, I think the pregame vibes were a little bit down once I saw the lineup come out. Mostly because the Zinchenko injury, I mean, dude, what is up with the outside back position at Arsenal? I really don't understand it. There's got to be some kind of juju or some kind of bad curse going on, man, because I'm still waiting for Tommy to come back from injury, bro.
Cursed. It is cursed. Remember we were talking about Ben White? I mean, this is a couple weeks ago. There has to be a plan in place, right? This dude's getting surgery. He's going to be out. At the time, it said like 8 weeks. Now we know it's probably going to be like maybe 3 months. Like there has to be a plan in place. He needs a replacement. There are no plans in place, bro. We're running on fumes. We are absolutely running on fumes right now.
Yeah, and I think those positions are so important to the way that we play, dude. I mean, that first half, I have to take an issue with the right side. I think TP5, every time the ball went to the right side, it just felt like it slowed down the whole thing. We didn't have an overlap. I felt like it was a little too predictable. The positions that Odegaard kept picking the ball up, he just kept picking the ball up in that little pocket between the winger and the outside back. But then it just went nowhere because he couldn't go anywhere with it. He didn't have the forward to connect with. Saka was basically, when they play this 5 in the back and they tell their left winger to get as tight as you can on Saka, there's literally another guy behind you. That's tough, dude.
Very tough. It's Partey for me. Did he have a bad game? I wouldn't necessarily say he had a bad game. It just really killed the flow of that side. He can't move around. He can't overlap it. He's not underlapping it. When Timber's there, when Ben White's there, they actually try to get forward, right? Create space for Saka, whereas Partey is just an outlet going backwards. Hey, if you get into trouble, play me back, and then I can recycle it. he's not actually helping any chance creation. So when you're saying they're playing 5 in the back and they got a man marking Saka touch tight, it's like there's no one to run beyond Saka to, all right, that guy has to make a decision, right? Do I stay with the runner, Partey, or do I stick with Saka? That decision's not there. I'm only staying with Saka. That's all that's in the dude's mind. It's like when Odegaard gets the ball, there's a dude touch tight with Saka. It's just tough. So Partey, you're having to recycle it back to him, create somewhere else. And there was no creative pieces anywhere else on the field yesterday.
No, not really, dude. I mean, I think overall some of the players had really good performances. I have to be honest with you. I didn't feel like it was that bad. I mean, Fulham had 2 shots, dude. Okay, they scored on one. I think maybe we can talk about their goal a little bit. I saw some people being very discontent with Kiwior and his positioning, the way he got spun out for the run. It looked very similar to what happened to him against Liverpool. Like, that was like the exact same ball. So for our center back to be getting toasted in the channel twice like that in a span of a month, there's some issues with the level, dude. I know you and I go back and forth on this. We have different feelings slightly about Kiwior, but I'm starting to really double down on him maybe not being good enough for what we need.
Yes, we go back and forth. I try to keep a positive mindset that he's like a third string player. And he comes in and he lets 2-shot Fulham get a goal. But I just watched it back right before we recorded this. And he makes this decision to like kill the space where the pass is going to be. And then at the last second, because Jimenez runs inside of him, it's like he second guesses, he hesitates, and then starts running backwards to then track the run. It's like either you needed to track the run to begin with, that's fine, or you needed to cut the space for the pass. And he was caught in 2 minds. To me, that's what it looks like. The ball gets played around him. I mean, the entire play, ball comes out from Leno. It's off a ball from Leno into Jimenez's chest. No pressure on him. He's able to chest it down into his player. They keep the ball. Because we pressed so hard at that time, I believe we had 4 players forward. They're able to play it out to an outlet, Tete. I think that's the right back's name. Wide open. No one's pressuring him. He's able to get his head up, watch Kiwior make that indecisive decision, and play the ball around him. I do think Saliba could have got there. I do think that. But it doesn't really matter. Great finish by Jimenez. His 5th goal of the season. This isn't even a dude that's on fire. It's his 5th goal of the season for Jimenez. So it's tough. That's tough. 11th minute, that's early. We like early goals for Arsenal. An early goal for Fulham played right into their hands.
Absolutely, dude. No early goal for Arsenal, no party, bro. You can put that on my tombstone. I mean, it's tough, man. I have to say, it looked like the way they were set up, it was a 6-4 at times that they were playing, dude. Iwobi was dropping in so deep. They're still talking about us being Stoke City, and we're playing against teams that are set up this way. So the hypocrisy is just out of this world. And the first half overall, not too great. I think Declan Rice was a shining star for me in that first half. I thought he was really trying to make things happen. I thought Trossard did all right coming in at the left wing. I was pretty happy with his positioning, with his performance. A couple of times he did a really nice job dribbling across the line and switching the play. Those were the only instances where Saka actually had a one-on-one and tried to create something. He did well defensively. But again, I'm out here today after another 90 minutes, and I am calling for us to sign a left winger in January. Please sign a left winger in January, dude. I've been asking for a left winger for 4 transfer windows now. And I think it's time, dude. I think it's time.
But the first half, which goes, I'm going to say, kind of leads directly into that early sub, which we love, and getting Martinelli in. And I think we're gonna have to get him. KP's a little hot, obviously. He's back on his bullshit. I had taken 4 notes in the first half, man. Just 4. I said, 20 in, where's Kai? J20 pulling the strings. Fulham leaving one on the players in the back. And great ball from Leo. Saka wasted the chance. And that was, he put in a lofted ball, far post. Saka went in with his right foot and just skied it. It was actually a good opportunity. And I think a player like Saka will probably look back and regret that because it was a great chance. One of the limited open play chances we had. So first half wise, no real shining stars. What you're saying, left wing, Trossard, I don't think he was a shining star in the first half. I actually thought the second half he started really, really well. He got onto the ball a little bit more and was doing his thing. No real notes from the first half. Pretty slow half, even though Fulham scored early. Halftime, I'm expecting us to score. I think we have a goal in us. The set pieces on our side were already pretty good. Trossard starts the half well. You text me. You say, I need some early subs today. 60th minute. If I don't see a sub by the 60th minute, they're going to hear me. They're going to hear me on the pod tomorrow. 60th minute. Martinelli for Trossard. I'm actually hype about it. I'm feeling good about this move. And man, was it a letdown? Air out the balloon, man. That was a sub for 30 minutes to me. That was wasteful.
It was tough, dude. I think 2 episodes ago, I said that if Martinelli comes on and it's 2-2 against West Ham, I expect him to make a difference. And it wasn't good enough, the 30 minutes that we got from him. I have to be honest with you. I'm really happy with the manager for making an early change. I'm really happy with that, dude. I mean, before 60th minute, we had a sub. I think by the 70th minute, we made 2 other subs. So it was proactive from the manager. It felt like we were going for it. And I do feel like the substitutes let him down. I do. We're talking about Martinelli. Jesus also came on, did fuck all. Marino. When I was calling for a sub in the 60th minute, my head was, I'd like to see Marino, to be honest with you. I felt like we have to do something about this back line. We got the 4 midfielders playing, like Thomas Partey, Jorginho, Odegaard, Rice. It's too many midfielders, and 3 of them lack creativity and drive. I don't expect Jorginho to be driving through their midfield, to create something. So I wanted Marino a little bit earlier than when he came on. But this guy, Gabriel Martinelli, dude, Martinelli, it is just not looking good. And it's not just the sentiment on this pod. I'm starting to see a lot of the people who were Martinelli hive 2 years ago, 1 year ago, fucking 2 months ago. They're starting to turn, dude. They are starting to turn.
Mud, and that is the talking point to me. You're talking about we need a left winger in January. We've probably needed a left winger for some time now. A couple off seasons, we probably should have got a left winger. And to back these statements up, I think you need a reality check. I'm talking to the fans. We need a reality check on this. It is not only Arsenal fans that are having issues with this dude. I'm on the socials during the game. I like to go on the game thread sometimes and just see what the other fans are thinking. And Martinelli comes in and it is immediate all right, so that dude's not going to do anything today. There's this general sense of him that he's going to come on and do nothing. His chances are going to go wide. He's not going to put it on frame. He's going to be crossing the ball just to cross it to stat pad, I guess. I'm not really sure what he's putting the ball in for sometimes. Just a very disappointing performance. I felt like he was trying to do too much yesterday. We talk about him. Go ahead.
One of the big things I struggle with the 2 Brazilians when they come on is the ball just gets stuck on that side. I felt like as soon as Martinelli came on for those 30 minutes, we stopped going down the right-hand side. The ball goes there. It just stays over there. At least with Trossard, he was trying to dribble across and switch the play. He was trying to get a good cross in. When those 2 are on, I feel like they're ball hogging, dude. Ethan Nwaneri subbed on in the 82nd minute. I don't think I saw him touch a ball until the final whistle blew. That's not okay.
That's it. He's in the mud, man.
So, I mean, do you expect him to start midweek against Monaco?
It depends on where you're putting your chips. If Mikel's put his chips into the Champions League, do we need it? I guess I would look at the table. Do we need it? Monaco's actually in the top 8, aren't they?
I think so.
It's actually a big matchup. It's a big matchup. I'll go back to what I said a few weeks ago. I don't really care. I don't really care what he does. Whoever he puts on the field better perform. It is what it is. He can do whatever.
I think that's fair, dude. I mean, they better perform, and expectations are that they do perform. And Martinelli, I think the one thing about his performance that frustrated everyone was, look, he did produce a good moment. He did get a cross in. Bukayo Saka did score a header. Like, things were looking up. But then to be offside as a substitute winger, to not have the mentality, to not see across the line, that was such a disappointing offside, dude. And the one that I really struggled with, it looked like Martinelli wanted to get sent off yesterday, dude. He got an early yellow card when he subbed on, and then he was getting in these arguments. It was to a point where the referee had to gesture to him. The referee had his fingers on his head, dude, telling him to think. I can't have the referee telling my player to think, dude. I need better than that.
Really turning on him, like, really fast because of, like, what I saw yesterday. Mikel has said after a few games, I think he's made it a point, like, Martinelli is not, he has to put in the chances he's getting. I think he said it a few times in the press conferences, right? Post-game interviews, like, that's pretty big. He doesn't call out players like that. He's called out Martinelli, I think, twice this season, straight up. You had a big chance and you didn't put it away. He comes on the field. He's obviously frustrated for some reason. Threw the ball on the ground on the throw-in, yellow card. He then throws the ball at somebody's back after they delayed his throw-in. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he got another yellow card there. Got the red. I would have nothing to say about the referee. I think he had every right to give him a red card there. To be honest with you, I wouldn't. This is Arsenal, right? We've seen the red cards we get. That's more of a red card than I've seen this season, the ones that we got. So I would not be surprised if he got it. I'm really out on him right now. His stock is just really low for me, and it's bad. You want to support everybody on the team, but when you're making stupid decisions like that, I'm having trouble backing him.
Yeah, it does become really tough, dude. When you're just not thinking anymore, it becomes tough, dude. The decision making is something we've really called out before on this pod, an issue with this player. But the display that he had, the mental display that he had, I think that might have also been the nail in the coffin for Mikel Arteta, because he takes that shit seriously, dude.
That's what I'm saying. He's already called him out twice. He comes on as a sub in the 60th. He's fresh. You're in line with the players. You could say Timber took a little bit too long to play that ball. Okay, fine. But you're Gabriel Martinelli. You're like the fastest dude on the field. You don't need to earn the extra yard. You don't need to, right? You don't need it. He's out there by himself on the wing. He comes out offside on that. I bet Mikel is sick. Like, you come on as a sub. I think I saw something from Paul Merson, ex-Arsenal player, and he was just roasting Martinelli for that. Like, that is an absolute kick in the balls, man. You're offside, you score the goal, and it's a meaningless offside. It's not like he's running through the line. I'll give you that. You're just standing offside. That's not acceptable.
It's not. All right, let's see. What else should we talk about from the game? I think we do have to talk about the manager a little bit more, unless there's any specific second half instances that you want to call out.
Now straight into the manager, and I got a stat for you. I'll let you respond to it. Second half, we get our goal. Saliba, great. Corner, set piece FC. Did we have any chances after that, KP? Did we have any significant chances to win the game other than the Martinelli one where Saka puts it in? Do you recall anything?
Only set pieces, dude. If I'm being honest with you.
Only set pieces. And I have a stat here from Squawka. Arsenal have only come back to win one of their previous 23 Premier League away games under Mikel Arteta when they have trailed at halftime. Drew 4, lost 18. For a title contending team, oof.
That's tough, dude, because we had talked about, look, football managers win the game at halftime. They win the game by their substitutions. And those numbers speak volume about the manager's ability to be a little adaptable, maybe, to how the game is going, to my game plan's not working. What's my other option? To, hey, maybe that starting line, I got it wrong. There's maybe I should be less stubborn with playing TP5 at right back. Why are we playing him at right back, dude? Like, I mean, come on. I think it's hard for me to sit here and say maybe play Tierney. I mean, I haven't seen that guy play in like 2 years, right? So I'm not going to just sit here and say we should have played Tierney. We're not even sure if he's fit. Could he even go 90 minutes? I highly doubt he could go 90 minutes, right? So there's got to be some thought in there. But Louis Skelly, I'm a little more comfortable actually calling for Louis Skelly to have started the game. I've struggled with the balance of the team throughout this season. The balance just has felt off, dude. And when you play 4 midfielders, and they're all right-footed and kind of one-dimensional, like TP5 and Jorginho, those are one-dimensional players. So the balance has just been off, and we're not running it back when we should be running it back. We can't run it back because I saw a stat that said this is now the 9th back line that we fielded in 15 games, dude. That's half of the games we have a different back line that we're playing with. So that doesn't help. I remember our runs sort of last year and the year before. He runs it back, dude. That he's been prohibited. So yeah, dude, some of the adaptability from the manager just seems a bit off. And that stat you shared, that's a big stat. That's a worrying stat for a manager. I'm not sitting here saying manager out, but it's a worrying stat.
I'd say hindsight is 2020. Left back, obviously, in my opinion, you got to put Timber at right back at some point. You were talking about Jorginho was the obvious one to come off during the game. Fair. I want to say getting Partey out of right back and putting Timber in there, that's the move to make. Just feel like he's scared to play Louis Skelly next to Kiwior. Really, like, that's it, right? He had to be scared to put Louis Skelly next to Kiwior. I don't see another reason why you wouldn't give that a shot. Getting Partey, whether you put him at the 6, just getting him out of right back, getting Timber over there, that's the move. I have another stat for you. Expected goals for the game. We have Fulham at 0.14 expected goals yesterday, and that's all in open play. 0.14. Arsenal expected goals yesterday was 1.93. Open play, 0.3, and set pieces, 1.63. Woof. For a team that goes down 1-0 early, you only end up with 0.3 open play XG. All that possession. That's City, 10-man Arsenal against City packing it in football. You don't expect that from Arsenal. You expect more from us, I think.
You do. And I think 15 games into the season, maybe teams have started to figure some things out a little bit. They figured out the pattern of play. They figured out what our goal is to get to the wings, and they're shutting down the wings, and down the middle, we don't really have it. I think King Kai had a tough game. I have to be honest. King Kai had a tough game, dude. The chance that he had, that shot that he just scuffed wide, dude, it was similar to the one he scored against Chelsea last season in that 5-goal game. But I think when you see that as an Arsenal fan, I understand how people feel about his lack of conviction. I understand, like, you're used to watching a striker just be a little bit more fluid, have a little bit of a better strike in his pocket. And I'm starting to get it. I am starting to get it. I don't feel like the striker is what solves our issues. I still think a left winger is more important than a striker, because I think I think Trossard can play the 9. I think Jesus can play the 9. We have Kai, but he had a tough game. I have to be honest. I've backed him a lot on the pod, but he's had a tough time.
King Kai, dude. Our number one fan here. Tough game. He did have a tough game. The issue with being a striker in this type of game, so he obviously had that one real big chance and he scuffed it and it went wide. I think that was a very good opportunity and it looked a lot worse than it probably could have been. Like that Saka chance I was referring to earlier where Trossard crossed it to him on his right foot. It ended up looking a lot worse than it should have been. It was a good chance. It just was scuffed. The issue with Kai playing at 9, and I can see, the calls for a new 9 coming already. How many chances did he really get in that game? Like, people are looking for a 9 to create for themselves, be able to create some chances out of nothing. He didn't create much at all. He, of course, is going to be giving you the defensive pressure, winning balls, playing things in the air. Love it. But there's just like a lack of conviction going forward. When that right side is not doing its thing, it's just tough, man. You can look all over the field. You mentioned chemistry. It's after a big win midweek. This is like it's another draw that feels like a loss. It's really deflating.
Another draw that feels like a loss, dude. That has been the story of the season, man. I mean, I think we hung out on Sunday in the evening and I asked you how you're feeling after that loss because that's just what it is, man. And King Kai, dude, even the assist he got to Saliba, like in a way, when I watched that, I'm like, I kind of need my striker to score that. Like I don't think he meant to have it as an assist. I think he was trying to score it. And the header was kind of shit, dude, because that's got to be on target, bro. You got to score that on your own for me.
That's probably fair, man. There's a lack of conviction sometimes. That is true. I'm trying to find myself. I feel like very negative today coming on here. After the game, I felt like I was in a good headspace. I feel negative coming on here today. I'm trying to find a silver lining from this result. Do you have a silver lining?
It's hard to have a silver lining when I don't know if we're going to learn from it or not. That's the silver lining, I think. That I'm hoping we learn something. But I also feel like I'm looking for us to learn the same shit over and over and over. So that makes it hard to make it the silver lining. I think Declan Rice has been my silver lining of these last 2 games, dude. He's looked more like himself. It's been very encouraging. We need to figure out how to feed him a little bit more. The other silver lining is our defenders continue to score. We were counting to 100 goals, and our defenders keep scoring. So Saliba filled in the Gabriel role. We've had Timber get on the score sheet. So we're getting goals from other places, but we keep going back to the one place we need goals from. It's our forwards, and it's just not happening, really. So I'm with you. I'm also a little negative. Now that I've been chatting for like 20, 30 minutes, I do feel I'm a little angry, actually. Like, I got to get ready. I got to put on a good face and go to work, dude. But now I'm pissed off again.
1 step forward, 2 steps back. It is the story of the season. I mean, after that midweek game, and I wanted to ask you this at the midweek game when we had done a pod, and I didn't. But we had scored 2 set-piece goals against United. There really wasn't much open play situations we were looking to score from. I think in the first half we had a few moments, but it's not like we were daring, really making Onana make saves in that game. It was all set pieces. We could have scored 5 goals on corners, easy. But how many open play goals were we going to get? I'm not putting this down to the Odegaard effect or anything like that. I think we were struggling to get goals before Odegaard came in. We looked a lot more fluid. That's why I'm trying to find a silver lining. Silver lining is corners are up, set pieces are up, baby. To the moon with set pieces. But the lack of fluidity is a little bit concerning for me. The outside backs, I still think that's a huge thing. We got to get that sorted out. They make us cook. They make us go. That midfield trio did well enough. I still put it on the outside backs. They're the ones that make us go as a team and create opportunities for everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we're gonna analyze it a little bit more, just what's the problem? The problem is teams have figured out what they need to do is they need to have a cluster in the middle of the pitch, even with their forwards, like get narrow. The forwards get narrow, the center mids get narrow, and let's have this cluster in the middle on top of our 5 or 6 defenders, and then the 5 or 6 defenders, whoever's playing on the outside, get as tight as you can on the winger. Don't give him a lot of time. Just make him go backwards. And that's it. And they'll just recycle it. Horseshoe FC is just in full effect, dude. And we're having a tough time. And to your point, when they play that way and we don't have the support from our outside backs, then it's a 1v2 every time for our wingers. It's not going to go well. I mean, you think back to the last 3 games when Timber has been cooking. What's he doing? He is beating his winger and he is carrying the ball forward. And suddenly it's him and Saka going together. Like, Thomas Partey couldn't beat Adama Traore on the outside, dude. He could only pass around him. And so this is the problem, man. This is the problem. I don't know how you solve for it. The injuries, I do think it's a serious thing, man. It's been a tough season of injuries, and there's only so much you can compensate for when you can't get your big dogs on the pitch, dude. And the big dogs aren't coming back on the pitch anytime soon, bro. Benny Blanco ain't around. Tommy, I got no updates. I heard he got shipped off to go and train at another camp just so he could like mentally recover from what's happening. So Zinchenko, that man's calves are a build of, I don't even know what. I assume it's another calf injury, to be honest with you. And the rest of them, they're just doing what they can and they're not getting any help from the attack. So it's tough. Sometimes even our attackers, it feels like they are a little bit settling, like for a corner. Like, maybe I don't need to beat this guy. I'll get us a corner. That's tough, dude.
It's tough. Monaco midweek, Everton at the weekend. Oof. I'm not really concerned about the midweek game. I'll be honest with you. The Champions League thing. I am saying let's put our chips into the cups right now. I think that's where we need to put our eyes and our concern. But just for morale reasons, the Premier League game to me is just we need to perform well at the weekend. Just for morale reasons. Monaco, hopefully we can go. I believe it's an away game. Do you know?
I think Monaco's at home. I think we're at the Emirates. And
It is at home. And the game at the weekend's at home as well.
Yeah.
There we go.
That should help us. That should really help us. The Monaco game, I agree with you. I think let's go for it. We have to try to get the bye in the Champions League, honestly. Like, we need that break. Everton, obviously they didn't play over the weekend, so they're going to have a full week rest going into that game at the weekend. So that's going to be very challenging. I'll tell you what, though. I know the pod's got a bit of a negative tone to it. I was doing some numbers, right? And in the beginning of this season, Mikel was talking about how we need 114 points, is what he was saying. And now when you look at it, we have 23 games left. So a total of 69 points up for grabs for us. And we have like 25 or something like that. So I think the maximum we can get now is 98 points. It's still not that bad because I think with 92 points, you can win the league that we have. So there's another 6 points for us to drop, unfortunately. But I don't know. How do you feel when I kind of talk to you in those number terms? Does that make you feel a little better knowing that we can still get to 98? What's sort of your point tally that you think, oof, forget about it?
I want to say maybe that mid 80 point is what I'm looking for. I don't see us cracking the 90 right now. You said early on, is it 6 games unbeaten?
Yeah, counting Chelsea, since Chelsea. But since we came back from the international break, it's only 5. 4 wins and 1 tie.
So let's keep on that. That's the silver lining right there. Unbeaten. It's an unbeaten run. Last year, I think we went on a win run. Straight wins. Let's keep it on an unbeaten run. And as long as we can limit the draws like this, any draw this season has felt like a loss. Like it just has felt like a loss. I think the Liverpool one might feel a little bit better. Still believe we should have won that game. So fuck it. All draws this season feel like losses, bro. That's the silver lining. Unbeaten run. Let's keep it up. Man, I honestly was feeling hot. Like I was feeling good, in a good mood going into this weekend against Fulham. Fulham was a boogeyman last season. I thought the boys would be ready for it. But that midweek game against United, a lot of good energy with the club. This is a really deflating one. So yeah, I'm flipping on ahead. I'm going 180 right here, baby. My mood has changed all the way up to the moon.
I like it, dude. Yeah, let's keep the unbeaten run going. Let's leave this pod there and thank everyone for spending time with us. Enjoy the midweek match. Enjoy your week, and we'll see you on the other side.
Be easy.